We have a full card in baseball tonight in the postseason. So let's start off in Detroit, where vibes are high for the Tigers. And we've got the Guardians, who are wait, this game's a pick'em. Game's a pick'em, total of 7. This is the afternoon start, 3:08 first pitch. Alex Cobb is starting for the Guardians, which I had to double check this. I saw he was the probable starter yesterday, and I said to myself, am I dreaming? Is this the year like 2012? I couldn't believe Alex Cobb was starting, but he's making his first postseason start in 11 years. He's had like limited time with Cleveland so far this season, 2-1, 2.76 ERA, and it's Brant Herter going for Detroit, 6-1, 2.58 ERA. Somebody who has not been a starter. He's pitched mostly out of the bullpen. So Jenks, with these two starters, I'm not sure where to go, because normally I would look at the under. When you hear Guardians Tigers, like both these offenses are not the best, but with these two pitchers, I'm not sure which direction to lean.
Man, I have no idea. I think what I would do is this is going to be a very simple handicap, but when you have Alex Cobb versus Brant Herter, I mean, Cobb has been around forever, as you mentioned. He's been good in his last couple of starts of the season. Brant Herter is not going to go long as a bullpen game for the Tigers. I think all things being equal, when it's a toss-up like this, you just go with the better lineup. Even though the Tigers have had some really timely hitting, the Guardians do have the better hitting lineup. So I think because of that, and they have a bullpen advantage. I know that Emmanuel Clase got roughed up in his last outing, but that is a big-time anomaly because he had not blown a save since May. So I think considering the Guardians lineup and that they have a bullpen edge, you just go with Cleveland here.
Yeah, and it definitely feels like a big game for Cleveland. This series, well, I guess it's a big game for both teams. Series tied at 1 game apiece, but they need to get some momentum back, I feel like. But when it comes to the Tigers and these teams that are playing with so much momentum, these are teams I don't really want to fade. Like, I know you look at all the numbers and the information, and I think it would obviously say Guardians here because you have the more veteran pitcher going. Again, like you said, it's a better lineup, but the Tigers have been proving people wrong for every bit of the last month. So it's not really a team I want to fade, so I'm not going to. This game's going to be a pass for me. All right, next up, how about the Phillies and the Mets? Speaking of teams with a ton of momentum, that team is also the Mets. They're not favored in tonight's matchup, though. That honor goes to Philly. -115 on the money line. New York, -105. Total of 7.5 runs. Ranger Suarez gets the ball. He's 12-8 with a 3.46 ERA. Somebody who has a ton of experience in the postseason as well. Going to be squaring off with Jose Quintana of New York. 10-10 with a 3.75 ERA. He's been good in the postseason thus far as well. So we've got a good pitching matchup. But both these lineups we know can certainly do some damage. Jenks, where are you thinking on this one?
Absolutely love the Mets on the money line here. So you're getting the Mets at -105. I will absolutely be playing this game. I don't trust Ranger Suarez at all. He really faltered at the end of the season, and I think that continues today. Gave up 6 runs in only 2 innings last time out against the Nationals, but he's given up 15 runs in his last 17 and a third innings pitched, at least 2 runs in each of his last 4 starts. Phillies have lost the last 3 games in which he's been on the mound. And yesterday, because Sean Manaea went so deep into that game, the Mets really didn't use their bullpen, and they have a slight bullpen advantage here. The Mets have all the momentum. Grimace is going to be there. I'm on the Mets. Let's go.
That's all you needed to say, brother,
Yeah.
is that Grimace is going to be there. I think if you look at the numbers, again, this is a tough spot to fade the Phillies, just because I know Ranger Suarez had some tough starts down the stretch, but he's somebody who feels like he knows how to turn it on in the postseason. So when you see those type of guys, like his career postseason numbers, 3-1 with a 1.62 ERA in 9 games pitched. Of course, he's been a staple for the Phillies and somebody who's not, the ace of the rotation, but he's had some really good numbers. So for that reason, I wouldn't be shocked if he goes out there and throws a gem. But again, this Mets lineup has been ranking against the best pitchers in all of baseball. So I feel like it's either, I don't know. I don't think I want to fade the Phillies here. Maybe I'm going to go with an over. Like maybe if you can get a decent number on a 7, like obviously, we don't like playing half runs here on the show. Either you play 7 and lay the juice, or you go plus money and go for the 8. But I feel like the Mets can scratch across some runs. And I also feel like we should see more out of the Phillies. Like, this is too good of a lineup to be scoring like 2 runs a game. So I feel like the Phillies will have a better effort here. So I think I would roll with the over when it comes to the Phillies and the Mets. Next up, let's go to Kansas City, Royals and Yankees. Can they do it? I don't know. And it's not Giancarlo Stanton's fault. Like, remember what Bob Costas was doing last game? I wonder if he's going to be rooting for the Yankees in this game. And they certainly need some help because Kansas City has been going toe to toe with them thus far. So Kansas City home dogs here, -105. New York -115. This is the later game. It's a 7:08 first pitch. Clark Schmidt squaring off with Seth Lugo. Seth Lugo's been really good, 16-9, 3 flat ERA. We love Seth Lugo on the show. So it's going to be hard for me to look at fading Kansas City here. So, Jenks, I think I'm leaning towards the Royals in this one. But Clark Schmidt's been really good, too. Does that mean we go with an under? Does it mean we go with Kansas City? Or are you on the Bob Costas special and taking the Yankees here?
Well, no matter what you choose, it's not your fault. No, I'm going to go. Yeah, I still can't get over that call. I'm going under 8. That's my favorite call in this game. Clark Schmidt had a tough outing in his final game of the regular season against the Pirates. 4 earned in 4 innings, but whatever. That's not really who he has been this season. He has given up more than 2 runs only 3 times in 15 total starts. He's been better on the road. ERA 1.39. And you were talking about how much we love Seth Lugo. Giving up more than 2 runs only twice in his last 8 starts. Yankees bullpen has been great this season. The Royals bullpen, I don't know what's going on with these guys. They have stepped it up in the postseason, been really good. I'd go under 8.
Yeah, I like that a lot. I'd either go first 5 under or full game under 8 because remember, this is not at Yankee Stadium either. Like, obviously, games have the tendency more to go under when they're not played at a very home run friendly park with a home run friendly lineup. So I feel like this one is another low scoring affair. We've seen it in one of the games. I know the first game of the series was 6-5, but we also saw the Royals walk in a couple runs in that game. So I feel like they can clean that up. I'll be with you on the under. I think this is going to make the card for me. I think that's a pretty solid look.
Mets money line -105 hosting the Phillies. I do not trust Ranger Suarez. He faltered at the end of this season. 6 runs in only 2 innings. He has given up 15 runs in his last 17 1/3 innings.